Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. I've got Bitcoin here on the daily right now trading at 66.84, still managing to try to climb its way out of this hole. And guys, this has been the narrative for the crypto space. This is XRP on the daily. After we saw this significant plummet because of the S&P 500, because of other markets around the world just taking a dive, the crypto market has also been in sync with that. Guys, this is Ethereum on the daily. You can see Tron on the daily. Everything is essentially trying to climb its way up, slowly climb its way back up. Let me put it back to BTC. Where could we have realistically gone if this had not happened? And I was thinking about this morning. Could we have actually made some more gains? Okay, this is XRP on the daily. Now, this is taking some liberties in assuming that the trend would have continued to move upward. I'm just going to take this fractal here and bring it up towards February 20th, which is when we saw the majority of the decline here. Okay, so February 20th was here. But let's say this didn't happen. Let's say we didn't see this, okay, and we just kind of saw the trend continuing to move upward. Of course, we're going to see rallies and retracements, but we were ultimately in an upward trend at that moment in time. We went up as high as 34.7, then came back down. I'm just putting in a for instance here. We could have realistically been in that 31-cent range. Just based on the idea that after the dust has settled, this is what the trend is. Of course, taking liberties here, and this isn't entirely accurate. But it just goes to show you guys that we were not in a bad place before this crash. And fundamentally, cryptocurrencies are still what they were 45 days ago, okay? The fundamentals haven't changed. We will continue to see a rally. I do just think that we have to be patient and see what else happens with the economy as a whole. Guys, I saw this from Matthew Lany on Twitter. FIS leverages lending platform for beer flu assistance. This from Mobile Payments today, discussing this real-time enabled lending platform, okay? And this is going to enable banks and credit unions to provide loans to merchants and small businesses under the U.S. Small Business Administration's Payroll Protection Program as part of the CARES Act. What piqued my interest is this here, real-time lending platform. Now, in this article, they do not discuss Ripple and XRP. But if we go back in time, okay, and this is why the internet's so great, FIS integrating Ripplenet. This post from September 30th, 2018, okay, so 2 years ago now. Is there any evidence that FIS, Fidelity National Information Service, has been integrating Ripplenet XRP with their Treasury solution? And these guys here on the XRP chat were digging for some information. Bank XRP posted this blog from back in December 2017. It's an FIS blog discussing blockchain and its potential impact on corporate treasury, part 1. Down here, they go on to discuss Ripple, call them out by name, discussing blockchain technologies, and the promise is to be global decentralized payment networks that provide real-time clearing and settlement payments. Well, look at what's happening now, okay? They're saying that they have enabled a real-time lending platform. They have not used Ripple's name or XRP in this article at all, but again, when you put 2 and 2 together, it sounds to me that it is possible that they could be integrated with Ripplenet under the hood. And these uncertain times we're living in right now are going to call for unprecedented measures, okay? I'm finding that around the world, governments are really kind of pushing to make changes that would have otherwise taken months, if not years, to implement. And this could be really, really great for crypto adoption as a whole. I'm going to keep going here. So this Michael Val5 links on Twitter talks about XRP accounts and how 25,000 plus accounts were created on the XRPL in March as XRP displays bullish signs. So linking to this article here, blockchain platform Ripple recorded 25,000 newly created accounts on its platform in March, according to reports from XRP1Intel.com. It goes down here to say, looking at the ledger, a total of 298,181 offers were created, while 49,981.14 XRP were burnt in fees, with a total of 2,533,254 payments made within the blockchain. Crypto exchanges Binance and Coinbase were among the top players, presently 111,447 and 989,096 payments respectively. This data shows that Ripple continues to be one of the major leaders within the blockchain sector despite the beer flu virus pandemic. So we are seeing signs that Ripple is alive and well. Payments are being sent through the blockchain. We are seeing that despite the fact that we are not hearing Ripple being called out by name. These clues are hinting to the fact that the blockchain is being utilized. Real-time lending platform, okay? Going back to their 2017 blog, hinting that they might be integrating with Ripple, and even from this XRP chat, there are more articles here suggesting that FIS is interested in Ripplenet, and the blockchain is being utilized despite the fact that, the world is essentially grinded to a halt. Who could be sending these payments? Is it the IMF? Is it governments of the world and they just haven't told us yet? And banks, of course, essential services, financial institutions, so sending money still occurring even during a pandemic. This from XRP Crypto Wolf. So researchers of the Bank for International Settlements think the pandemic may accelerate the adoption of digital payments and central bank digital currencies. And I agree wholeheartedly. So this from CoinDesk. They issued the forecast in BIS's April 3rd bulletin. Beer flu is changing the public's relationship with cash, they said, despite the scientific community's consensus that the beer flu transmission via banknote is relatively unlikely. Irrespective of whether concerns are justified or not, perceptions that cash could spread pathogens may change payment behavior by users and firms, the researchers said. For starters, countries may expand digital payment infrastructure with more online, mobile, and contactless options after the beer flu. Digital option actions could have an essential severe impact on millions of older and unbanked people, though. If cash is not generally accepted as a means of payment, this could open a payment divide between those with access to digital payments and those without, said researchers. Cash may therefore stage a comeback, the researchers admitted, but the pandemic also calls for CBDCs. So, this is an interesting article talking about, the idea that cash will be phased out, despite people's fears or not, whether it is legitimate to think that you can spread the virus through physical banknotes. Whether that's a legitimate concern or not, people's perception of this is that, I don't want to touch money that other people have been touching. Who knows what kind of cooties those people have, right? So could this be the push? And this is what the BIS is saying, okay? The BIS did their research, and this is what they're finding. A push for more contactless, cashless methods to transfer value. And boom, this is a check in the corner for cryptocurrencies and technologies, blockchain technologies like Ripplenet, that can perform those exact tasks. And we're seeing this not only from the BIS, but even from particular countries. So Crypto Podcast here at Crypto Podcast 1 on Twitter, prepare for mass influx of central bank wallet CBDCs. Will slide right in, and he posted this screen grab here, e-wallet. I don't know if you guys remember, I will post a video. I did a video the other day. I'll post it up here in the right-hand corner of the screen, talking about how the UAE and their central bank was going to integrate e-wallet, okay, for cashless money transfers, and Crypto Podcast here is just pointing the same thing out here. The first UAE central bank licensed digital wallet. Share money, shop, dine, pay bills from your mobile, fast, secure, easy, backed by Etisalat and Noor Bank, enduring your ability to digitally pay anyone in and out of the UAE in a fast, secure, and easy way. E-wallet is your newest way to manage your payments in fully featured digital wallet. So could this be the way we will move? Not necessarily using e-wallet in particular, but having a similar account set up for each individual, for each tax-paying person who lives in whatever country you live in, having that account, having the ability to pay everything and anyone with one mobile app. Could that mobile app run on Ripple? I've always said to myself, I don't know why Ripple doesn't just create an app and take out all their competition, because their technology is so lucrative. They could essentially, when I first started this channel, I was always saying Ripple could take out MoneyGram and Western Union in one fell swoop, and those guys would have been obsolete. I understand now, after doing the show for a while, why the partnership that Ripple has with MoneyGram has been a strategic one. These partnerships tend to be symbiotic, and MoneyGram has the clients, Ripple has the technology, yada, 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 so they work together. But back to this point here, I could totally see at this point in time, because of this pandemic, where this kind of technology could be beneficial, and why governments would want to push this, not only for the ease of use, but just to be able to better keep track of their citizens' spending, so as not to so as to thwart money laundering, criminal activity, so on and so forth. Of course, that is also the narrative with that push to cash as well. This from XRP_Gonzo at GonzoXRP on Twitter. He writes this, that's funny. Not too long ago, if you said inevitable shift to digital currency, people looked at you like, but now banks are saying it. hodl, and he posts this from the Deutsche Bank. A once-in-a-century pathogen demands a once-in-a-century solution. An obvious place to start is accelerate the inevitable shift towards digital cash. Hashtag digital cash, hashtag digital currencies, so on and so forth. So major banks around the world also pointing to this. We're seeing this also discovered from BIS research. All these signs, right? The UAE now using e-wallet. More XRP accounts being created in the month of March. It's interesting when you put all these things together, how that picture becomes clearer and clearer. We've also got Mr. B XRP here on Twitter at XRPMister. 90 countries so far have requested emergency financial assistance from the IMF. The toll this is taking on the economy and the world is staggering. Let me play you this clip here from the IMF, okay? 1 second, let me just get this set up. All right, here we go.
We have $1 trillion war chest, and we are determined to use as much as necessary in that protecting the economy from the scarring of this crisis. We are mobilizing emergency financing assistance to countries, and I can tell you we have never seen ever such a growing demand for emergency financing. Already over 90 countries have been placing requests to the IMF for it. And this emergency financing is to underpin the appeal that you and I are putting out. And it is, please prioritize health expenditures, use money to pay doctors and nurses.
Okay, and so she goes on to say where the money should be going to. I'm going to stop it there. Guys, I will link the tweet in the description if you want to watch the rest of the video. But ultimately, the point here is that the amount of money that is being requested from the IMF is staggering. And so if this pandemic isn't going to change the way we transfer money across the globe, I don't think anything will. And I think governments are realizing, this cryptocurrency adoption needs to take place now. We've already been doing all our research 2018, 2019, and the first couple of months of 2020 before this really hit hard. So we know the technology works. We just need to roll it out. And it's those darn regulations that are holding everything up. And David Schwartz mentions that at Swell. I believe this was Swell 2019, was it? Swell 2019, maybe Swell 2018. I'm not entirely sure where this clip is from, but this here posted from @boy_XRP. This is David Schwartz explaining the same thing.
These look like private banks making private decisions about what customers they'll do business with, but that's not what's happening. What's happening is it's legal uncertainty and it's legal risk that they're mitigating. And it is on the government to fix the laws so that legal businesses can get banked. And I think if you talk to people in this business, they'll tell you regulatory uncertainty and the inability to get banking connections are the biggest obstacles.
But isn't it catch-22? The banks also have uncertainty, so they don't want to touch this stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's a catch-22. It's a circular problem.
But on the bright side, the nice thing about that kind of problem is that it unwinds very quickly, right? Yeah. It's like if you have a chicken and egg problem, that kind of sucks if you don't have a chicken or an egg, but if you can get either one of them, then the problem goes away very, very rapidly. So it's the same thing, like if we could reduce some of that regulatory uncertainty, then maybe some of the banks will be a little bit more.
Reducing regulatory uncertainty. More banks will be warm to blockchain technology. Obviously, David Schwartz working for Ripple. So the context here is that the regulatory clarity needs to be put in place, as we know. Again, this from a couple of years ago when there was no regulatory certainty. Nevertheless, I feel this is the time for the world to react together. And I don't think I'm the only one that believes that. I believe the governments of the world are seeing it as well. With regulatory clarity will come a boom for crypto and blockchain technology. When I used to say in videos it's only a matter of time, well, I think since this crisis began, it's evident it's probably right at our doorstep. Anyways, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.